Let's talk about mayonnaise, shall we? Everyone has it in the refrigerator. It's super easy to make, and I don't even know how to say. Is it mayonnaise? Mayonnaise, mayo, mayonnaise, mayonnaise. Regardless, it's way better homemade. So I'm going to show you how to make that plus some additional sauces. So you may be thinking, like, why on earth would I make a homemade mayonnaise when I can just pull it out of the tub in the refrigerator? Well, it's definitely one of those fundamental classic techniques that everyone should know how to make. It's a very old sauce. You use it to bind things together in salads, or honestly, you spread it on a sandwich. And of course, I'm going to show you how to make some additional sauces from the mayonnaise that we are going to make. And I don't know about you, but my family is definitely the type that likes little chicken and vegetables with their sauce. They dump it on everything. But you're going to love all these. We need to start off with a little prep, though, before we get into it. Sound good? Let's cook. We're going to kick off this recipe with separating egg yolks from the whites in pasteurized eggs. Pasteurized eggs are eggs that have been cooked to 140 degrees internally, and when they are eaten undercooked, they're safe from any foodborne illnesses because of that. You also may notice that the whites in these eggs are a little bit creamier and a little bit white, but they are good to go. You also may notice a P on the egg. Now, you've seen me do this quite a few times, but I bobble the yolk back and forth between the two shells that I cracked to sort of remove the whites and let it fall down into a separate bowl. Once you've done that, we're just going to put it into a separate bowl. And now here's a quick little trick. Go ahead and wet a towel with cold or lukewarm water. It really doesn't matter, honestly. And then squeeze out a good amount. What we're going to do is help stabilize the bowl so it doesn't move around when I'm whisking it. So put it underneath, give it a little push down, and then we're going to begin to whisk. What we want to do is just whisk the egg until it's broken up, incorporate a little bit of air there, maybe 30 to 45 seconds, nothing more than that. Now I'm going to pour in some water, followed up with some white distilled vinegar. Then again, we are going to whisk this just for another 30 to 45 seconds. You'll notice it starts to become a little foamy. There's definitely air being incorporated in there. That's fantastic. Now add it with some ground dry mustard. Mix that in again for another 15 to 20 seconds, maybe. That's it. And then at this point, what we want to do is start to incorporate some oil. I'm going to be using canola oil. You can use vegetable oil, safflower oil, or any oil you feel comfortable using, and that's healthy for you. You want to add about 1/8 of a teaspoon in at the beginning, just a very little bit to start whisking it in and emulsifying it and incorporating it. You cannot just dump this in there and hope that it will get thick and emulsify. It will be far too much. So you start off with a little bit. Once you start incorporating it, then you can start slowly drizzling it in. But again, at the beginning, remember just a little bit, then stop, then whisk it. And then boom, before you know it, after a few minutes and the oil's in there, beautiful mayonnaise. We're going to finish it though with a little squeeze of lemon juice and some sea salt, or if you have kosher salt, totally fine as well. It just seasons it up. Give it a little whisk to mix it in there. And then what I like to do is simply set it in the refrigerator for whenever it is that I want to use it. I'm only going to stop a few times. If you think that that last procedure was crazy, there's no way I can whisk all that much, my arm will fall off. I'm going to show you a very easy way right here with a food processor. Here we go. Now, to separate the eggs in a different way, you've seen me do this as well before. You sort of crack the egg right into your hand. I'm going to use a glove here. You don't have to. And bobble it back and forth and let the whites run in between your fingers just like that. Then boom, you got an egg yolk. Excellent. Add it to a separate bowl. This looks fantastic. Now we are going to take this egg yolk and add it right to a food processor. And in addition, we're going to add in some white distilled vinegar, followed up with a little bit of Dijon mustard. Yes, this recipe is going to be slightly different than the one before, but either will work in a food processor or by hand. You make the decision of what you want to do. Now we're just going to pulse this together really quick, get those things moving and incorporating, and then again, using some oil, we're going to slowly pour it in. You can be a little bit quicker with this. You don't necessarily have to take long pauses because that food processor is going to work way quicker than your hand when whisking. I prefer this way just because it's quicker, and honestly, my arm doesn't get destroyed while doing it. Once it is done, when the oil is completely poured in there, you will notice that it's nice and thick. We're going to finish with a little bit more white distilled vinegar and a little bit of salt. Go ahead and close the top on that food processor and then spin it again. I can't stress it enough. Slowly pour in that oil. You can do it a little bit quicker than when doing it by hand. This looks fantastic. I mean, now you have a beautiful, delicious mayonnaise, whether you've done it by hand or whether you put in a food processor. Now let's make some aioli. A little bit different when it comes to ingredients. I'm going to add in 2 eggs because I want to make a little bit more aioli because I absolutely love it. Next, I'm going to add in some lemon juice, a whole garlic clove, and then again, just like in the last mayonnaise recipe, I'm going to be using a little bit of Dijon mustard. Come on, get that all in there. Give it a little knock there. Okay, got it. Great. And at this point, add the lid to the food processor on, and just like in the last one, we're just going to pulse these things together until they are incorporated. Get some things moving. Now, the difference is I'm going to add an olive oil instead of a regular sort of salad oil. This is a light virgin olive oil. It's not an extra virgin. It's not as dark as what you can see before. And then either pulsing it or running it on slow speed. Go ahead and add those things in there. Once it's done, it's nice and thick. We're going to finish it up by seasoning it with a little lemon juice and, of course, some sea salt. Go ahead and give it another quick mix until it is incorporated. Then we're just going to set it into the side in the refrigerator until we're ready to use it. And boom, you have a beautiful aioli. This looks fantastic. It goes amazing on so many different things. Mayonnaise, 2 different ways, a homemade aioli, and now we've got 2 sauces coming for you. So let's switch gears a little bit, starting with the Cajun Remoulade sauce. Here we go. Now this is a Cajun Remoulade sauce, so we are going to start off with some of that mayonnaise that we made in the beginning, and it's time to add a whole bunch of ingredients. We are going to add in some ground up mustard. Creole mustard is also excellent in this instance. Next, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of finely minced garlic. Now some prepared horseradish, not the creamy horseradish, but prepared raw horseradish. Next, some Cajun seasoning blend. Now, I made this on my jambalaya recipe, so be sure to check it out. If not, you can buy a pre-made one from the store if you'd like. We're going to hit it with a little bit of hot sauce. Then the next thing I've got is a little bit of Worcestershire sauce for some nice salty goodness. Some lemon juice. Next, we are going to add in just a little bit of fresh chopped parsley. And then grab a spoon and mix everything together until it is combined. And this sauce, just like any of the sauces I'm making in this video, will last for 7 to 10 days in your refrigerator. So go ahead and keep it cool in the refrigerator until you need it. It's a fantastic dipping sauce, especially for fried shrimp or fried chicken tenders. Now, my friends, we're going to make the comeback sauce. This was originally founded in Mississippi. So again, I've got a cup of that delicious homemade mayonnaise that we made. The first thing we're going to do is add in some chili sauce. Be sure to get all that goodness in there. And then followed up with some ketchup. Now, if you can't find chili sauce, I would recommend using all ketchup. It will be totally fine. Chili sauce just gives a little extra kick. Now, to add in a few more ingredients, we're going to add in some Worcestershire sauce, followed up by adding in some lemon juice. The next thing we're going to hit it with is a little bit of paprika. Going to add some nice color to this. Some finely minced garlic. Next, I've got small diced yellow onion, just a little bit of that. You could use onion powder or onion granules if you'd like. I like the whole chunky feel. Hit it with a little hot sauce. Then again, grab a spoon and mix all of this goodness together until it is completely combined. This is a fantastic sauce to dip just about anything, and it's got great flavor. In fact, it would be really good poured on a chicken sandwich or even a cheeseburger. Now, if you had gone to culinary school or worked in a French kitchen anywhere, you would know that there's not much more fundamental than making mayonnaise. Taking an egg yolk and binding it with oil, it's a thing of beauty, my friends. But it is all about these techniques and putting them into practice over and over and over again so that all of your homemade food from scratch is so good, and it always is. You know the ingredients in it. This homemade mayonnaise blows anything away off the shelf. Is it as convenient? No, it's not, but it's absolutely unbelievable when you taste it, which is going to make your salads, your dressings that much more delicious. Now, I don't have anything to plate up in slow-mo, unfortunately, but check out these beauties. You get a sauce, and you get a sauce, and you get a sauce. Dip, dip, dip in all this goodness. And of course, spread this mayonnaise on a homemade sandwich, or of course, in a salad dressing, or even in a bound salad. If you learned something and you love it, definitely like and share this video. Check out this video right here. Made it for you. You'll love it. We'll see you.